Okay, and we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Roman Shersher, your number one online resource for buying property with your weekly real estate update. Did one last week. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. Going to cover a couple of interesting things. We're going to talk about the market in September and August. And rates. Today was a crazy day for rates. I'm going to talk to you about mortgage rates. Our current projects right now, we're finally live on our Northridge project. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. We did a tremendous renovation there. Took out some walls, pulled permits on everything, fully renovated the property. It's going live today. We have our first open house and launch it tomorrow. So if you're in the area, stop by. Address is 9038 Whitaker in Northridge. We have a property going live next week in Jacksonville on a street called Hare. It's a beautiful 3-bedroom, 1-bath property. Really interesting details around the home. It's got almost like a brick crown around the house. I can't explain it, but it's going live next week. Very excited to put that on the market. And then we have a Brentwood condo we've been selling. We got multiple offers first week, even in this slowed market. If you're looking to sell a property, give us a call. If you know anyone that's looking to sell a property, would love to compete for that business. We really know how to go in there, perfect the property to maximize its value on the market. We spent on this condo about $8,000 to get it just perfect look. It's a building from the 1960s, but the unit looks fresh and looks new. And that's what we do before we put it on the market to maximize the value. All right, let's get into our content. Please remember, if you're viewing us on Instagram, please go to YouTube or Facebook, where we'll have links to these articles. Remember, I go off of data and not opinion. All right, first things first, let's talk about the market news. So Redfin came out with a report on the housing market in September. Here's the basics of what they went over and what they came to conclusion of. Number one is pending home sales are up a little bit from last month when the Fed dropped the interest rates. So we're up about 2% from a month ago. Largest increase since July, which is not that long ago, right? But most importantly, the home purchase applications rose 7% from the previous week. So that's the highest level. That's the highest level that they've been in a few months. Redfin's study showed that demand is up about 5% from a month earlier. So that's the first time in about 9 months where we're not seeing a declining demand pattern. And so for the first time, it was flat for the last, I believe, 9 or 10 months. So hopefully we're seeing progression back into the buying market by buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines. The election, of course, is also keeping things a little bit slower. This happens in every election year, and we're only about, a month away from the election. So hopefully we'll see things get back to normal in terms of demand, in terms of volume, which has been suppressed over the last couple of years, but definitely in this election year. Median home sale price across the country is up 4% year over year. Moderate increase in compared to previous months. And new listings are down 6% year over year. I've been talking about how right now we've seen an increase in inventory, even though demand is lower. Across the country, it's showing new listings are down, but that's not what we're seeing here in Southern California. So these improvements come despite the challenges due to high mortgage rates, price increases. Prices are very high right now. They don't look like they're coming down. We're seeing listings that are existing reduce their price, but honestly, majority of the time, that's because they were overpriced in the first place. So let's move on to the mortgage rates. Today was a crazy day in mortgage because a jobs report came out, and we were hoping that the jobs report would show increased unemployment. If it continued to increase in employment, then the Fed would be more likely to continue reducing rates, as it did with this 0.5 point jump just a couple of weeks ago. Instead, employment showed that it went up, and it went up by a significant amount. So the jobs report showed 336,000 new jobs added in September. And this is going against the Fed, what the Fed wants to see. So this increased the chance that there may be no interest rate drop going in the next chance the Fed has, or only a quarter point, where we were hoping to get at least another quarter point to a half a point reduction the next time the Fed came out. So this, in addition to, they made an upward revision in August's jobs numbers. So bottom line, there's increased market expectations that the Fed is going to maintain higher rates for a longer period of time. This drove rates crazy. The 30-year fixed in one day went up 27 basis points to 6.53%. I'll get into that in just a second to show you exactly what it did today. But the strong job reports, it raised concerns about inflation and what the policy is going to be with the Fed going forward. So let's move into where we are right now with mortgage rates. So if you recall, last week I did a weekly update where I showed that the lowest rates that we saw were right before, the day before the Fed made their announcement at 6.11. Look what's happened in just 3 weeks. We went from 6.11 on the 30-year fixed to 6.53. Last week, we were at 6.21. So at this point, we've made a 0.32, almost a third of a point increase in just a week, and 42 basis points, 0.42% since the low that hit before the Fed dropped their rates. The 15-year fixed since last week went from 5.58 to 5.88, 30 basis points. The jumbo went from 6.41 to 6.6, so 19 basis points there. The FHA went from 5.8 to 6.04, 24 basis points. And the same on the VA, went up 24 basis points. It's quite a bit. So what this means basically is that these increased rates will keep monthly payments somewhat high, will keep some people still out of the market, unfortunately. Despite the rate increases, we're going to see some positive trends in pending sales and buyer demand. This is great. Over the last month, we've seen that. Buyers are kind of adapting to this higher rate environment and really enjoyed that half a point drop and what it did in terms of the mortgage rates. We had a little bit of moderate year-over-year price growth. Okay, this potentially gives us a little bit more stabilization going forward. And lastly, while the decline in new listings is slowing nationwide, the low inventory could still put upward pricing pressure on some markets. All right. Thank you for staying with me. As always, we do our quote of the day. So the quote of the day is by Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but building the new. Okay. I think this is a really important quote by Socrates, one of the all-time great thinkers. Reminds us that in a changing market, it's important to adapt and look forward for new opportunities rather than dwelling on past conditions. Okay. Yeah, we've had some tough months behind us. We've had a very high interest rate environment in comparison to where we were with the 3% interest rates a couple of years ago. Well, we must adapt. We must come into the new conditions and environment that we're in today. Hopefully, the Fed continues dropping rates. This was just a blip, and it will cause maybe a month or two delay with those job reports. And then we'll continue to see those rates drop going forward, bringing us more advantageous real estate climate. All right. Remember, if you like this video, please help spread the word on social media. It helps so much. Just tap the share button to share with your friends and families. In these dynamic real estate times, staying informed is more important than ever. So remember, check out the links on the content on my Facebook or YouTube page for more detailed information. If you have any questions about how these market changes might affect your home buying or selling plans, please reach out. We're here to help. Even just call us for a consultation. If you're looking to list or sell your property in the future, or buy a property. We flip homes. I've been doing this for, shoot, it's already 18 years. So I kind of know exactly what we're looking for in terms of cost, how to maximize value. Reach out. Let me help you. No strings attached consultation. Everybody, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week, within the coming weeks, for more real estate insights. Thank you for staying.